secret satellites, Death Stars, the weaponization of outer space. Are governments the world over preparing for an alien attack? And if so, why are we being kept in the dark? Despite decades of UFO sightings and alien abductions, the United States government has maintained a single, unwavering position about the existence of extraterrestrials: denial. Evidence of aliens among us continues to mount, but no government on Earth will go on record and admit that aliens exist. Do they fear mass panic? Or are they hiding an even darker secret? The United States is the most powerful nation on Earth. But what if its rise to power came from being aided by an alien race? And what if these extraterrestrials have alien enemies of their own? Tonight, we unseal the most shocking conspiracy of all time: the global threat of a possible alien attack. What if the history you were taught in school was all a lie? Is our government controlled by a secret society? Welcome to the world of conspiracy, where cover-ups, secrets, and hidden agendas all trace back to a single source. We're about to unseal the secret files the government doesn't want you to know about. This is Unsealed: Conspiracy Files. September 17th, 2012. Reports surface of a highly unfriendly extraterrestrial threat, jeopardizing a vast expanse of the Pacific Ocean, from the coast of California to Alaska. Naval forces from the United States and China are said to have launched a joint counteroffensive. Officially, the Navy denies the battle, claiming the massive mobilization is a planned training exercise codenamed Valiant Shield. But the mission appears to be a counterattack against an unidentified enemy. What possible threat could unite these rival superpowers?
I think it's rather obvious that the United States military and government would keep it a secret if there was a conflict or connection between them and extraterrestrials. I think the reason is simple: fear.
A leaked memorandum about the Pacific incident reveals the opposition is extraterrestrial and extremely aggressive. The threat represents a clear and present danger to the United States. Any attempt to verify these operations will lead to fatal consequences. Are world governments hiding a secret war against extraterrestrials in the Pacific? Many experts believe that aliens have already established bases on Earth. A secret meeting between the CIA and President Ronald Reagan may have revealed the truth about an enemy alien force mobilizing around the world. Unsealed case file: The Reagan Briefing. On March 6, 1981, CIA Director William Casey allegedly debriefs President Reagan on the Roswell UFO incident. Casey's message is clear: Roswell was real. We are not alone. According to Casey, 2 UFOs crashed near Roswell, New Mexico in 1947. The corpses of 9 dead aliens were recovered from the wreckage, along with 1 lone survivor. The briefing goes on to detail 4 decades of human-alien relations. According to Casey, the sole extraterrestrial survivor of the Roswell crash worked directly with the CIA and military for 5 years. But what the U.S. learned from the alien remains a mystery to this day.
It appears that every time there's this major leap in technology, that somehow, somewhere, there's a reported alien encounter lurking in the background. And the biggest story about this is the 1947 crash of a UFO outside of Roswell, New Mexico.
Casey's report contains a final bombshell. At least 5 different alien species have visited Earth, one of which was classified as an HAV, a hostile alien visitor. Are hostile alien visitors planning an attack on Earth? And if so, what do world governments plan to do about it? Coming up next, we expose a secret treaty with aliens and reveal the most chilling extraterrestrial crimes against humanity. Could the CIA be starting a secret alien war?
Unsealed. Conspiracy Files. Welcome back to the world of conspiracy. This is Unsealed. Conspiracy Files.
Reports of an alien threat in the Pacific. Top secret presidential debriefings. Is the United States government hiding knowledge of aliens? Unsealed case file. The Greada Treaty. Washington, D.C., 1954. President Eisenhower enlists the help of a top-secret UFO investigation committee called the Majestic 12 to send a binary message into space with the intention of communicating with aliens. The message is allegedly received by an alien race called the Greys. Gray-skinned, black-eyed humanoids from a planet in the Zeta Reticuli star system, some 39 light-years away from Earth. Their initial response is positive, and a series of secret meetings is arranged on Earth. The result of this historic summit is an agreement known as the Greada Treaty.
There was some sort of treaty that was signed whereby they could take some humans for abduction and experimentation, but they had to be returned safely. In exchange, the Greys would give us some technology. We do know that there was this sort of quantum leap in technology during that time, where we went from just having tubes to solid state to fiber optics and night vision in literally 20 years' time.
Did President Eisenhower and the CIA make a dire mistake by allowing alien Greys to abduct humans? And how far did the Greys go with their experiments? One of the earliest studies conducted on the subject of alien abductees revealed thousands of victims in the United States. A study done in 2011 on U.S. missing persons reports a staggering 700,000 Americans have simply vanished with no explanation. Is it possible the Greys have been probing our weaknesses to one day exploit them on the battlefield? The U.S. government may have made a deal with a hostile alien species. But not every American leader turned a blind eye to the dangers of secret dealings with aliens and the possibility of invasion. In a 1962 speech, General Douglas MacArthur openly addresses the concept of an alien war.
We deal now not with things of this world alone. We speak in strange terms of harnessing the cosmic energy of ultimate conflict between the united human race and the sinister forces of some other planetary galaxy.
Why would MacArthur comment on such a top-secret matter unless he was convinced such a conflict was possible? By the 1970s, insider reports showed abduction rates skyrocketing to 100,000 per year. Victims report a terrifying variety of experiments, ranging from mind alteration and sexual assault to cloning. It's a far cry from the non-harmful experiments outlined in the Greada Treaty. 1977, the White House. President Jimmy Carter reportedly receives a stack of files on experiments conducted by aliens on humans at Dulce Base, New Mexico. In response, he allegedly sends out an executive order to terminate all such experiments.
Well, there's been a lot of talk about the Dulce Base and what goes on there. It's this secret underground base with many levels where they do all this experimentation with alien genetics and radiation that's been going on for years. And it's one of these things that, again, lives part in legend and part in some eyewitness testimony.
The Carter administration is warned that any attempt to shut down the base will be met with fierce resistance. September 1979. Brigadier General Harry C. Aderholt reportedly forms a team of Delta Force, Navy SEALs, and Air Force Special Ops Command to launch an assault on the Dulce Base. Could a secret assault on alien rebels deep within Dulce Base lead to a covert war between the United States and an entire alien race? Unsealed case file. Assault on Dulce.
This base is said to have 7 levels. The level of experimentation and mutilation even gets worse and worse as you descend to the 7th level. And supposedly the 7th level is where all kinds of unnatural things have been taking place that would terrify the most hardened criminal.
A classified report, believed by many CIA sources to have been written by Ader Holt himself, details the assault on Dulce base. The report describes horrifying alien creations, 6-legged humans, humanoid beings, and vats filled with human body parts. In total, the assault team is believed to have rescued over 30,000 human captives.
If any U.S. base, underground or not, was housing extraterrestrials, there would be some kind of conflict at some point, especially if there was no oversight and we were doing all this crazy stuff and trying to build maybe a super soldier or find a new bioweapon. I think that's just asking for trouble.
Where did these people come from, and how did they end up at Dulce base? As many as 2,300 Americans are reported missing every day. Over 700,000 Americans each year. Many people disappear in remote areas, never to be heard from again. Are the FBI and CIA covering up the disappearances to honor America's part of the Greada Treaty? Military authorities are reported to have ordered Dulce base closed for good after the 1979 assault, putting an end to its secret alien operations. But in 1993, after over a decade of silence, new evidence reveals Dulce's alien operations have resumed. And these reports are backed up by some disturbing new statistics. In 1980, the year after the assault on Dulce, 150,000 people went missing in the United States alone. The ensuing decades would see that number skyrocket, reaching nearly 1 million in 2012. Is it a sign the aliens are stepping up their efforts in preparation for a full-scale attack on Earth? While aliens may be preparing for a global invasion, how far will governments go to protect alien interests over our own? Up next, we reveal America's top secret agenda to build weapons with alien technology, gained as a result of the Greada Treaty. But at what cost?
Unsealed. Conspiracy Files. Welcome back to the world of conspiracy. This is Unsealed. Conspiracy Files.
High and low-frequency sound devices, psychological weaponry, smart bombs, stealth technology. Is the U.S. government developing an arsenal to fend off an alien attack? In just 100 years, humanity went from the horse and musket to spaceflight and nuclear weapons. The United States would benefit greatly from its technological superiority in the decades that followed. But how have these giant scientific and technological leaps been made possible? And have these leaps come at a secret and disturbing cost?
There were 2 immediate jumps in technology after the Roswell crash. There was the invention and the patenting of the transistor, and there was the development of the metal called titanium.
Experts believe the cost of building and maintaining a fighting force to combat aliens armed with advanced technology would be astronomical. Yet, in recent years, statistics reveal some disturbing trends. From 1998 to 2012, U.S. defense spending tripled from $300 billion to over $900 billion per year. But the allocation of the money is virtually untraceable, hidden within a deep black ops budget. Matching an enemy's weapons capability is a well-known primary war strategy. It's what drove the proliferation of nuclear weapons during the Cold War. Could the United States be locked in another arms race, desperately trying to catch up to a more advanced and heavily armed alien enemy? The U.S. and other powerful international governments spend billions of dollars on secret projects, totally hidden from public knowledge. Unsealed case file. The Star Wars program. March 23rd, 1983. President Ronald Reagan announces the defining military program of his presidency, the Strategic Defense Initiative, otherwise known as SDI, or the Star Wars Project.
NASA got involved with a lot of Department of Defense classified programs. So they're out there launching $3, $4, $5, $6 million classified satellites into space.
The infamous Star Wars program gives the American military the ability to launch missiles from space against targets here on Earth. But few pay heed to the notion that it also gives the United States the capacity to launch against targets in space. Star Wars represents the first line of defense against an alien attack. But why would governments hide the existence of extraterrestrial threats?
If you look at the history of UFOs and nuclear weapons, there seems to be a message of, we know you're playing with fire, we're here watching it, and we can shut you down anytime we feel like it.
Experts believe the first wave of an interplanetary attack would target facilities housing weapons similar to their advanced alien technology. Likely targets would include Dulce Base, Area 51, and even the Pentagon itself. Coming up, the shocking truth about those who believe a secret alien attack on Earth is coming. High-ranking officials step forward to tell the truth, and their warnings are dire.
Unsealed. Conspiracy Files. Welcome back to the world of conspiracy. This is Unsealed. Conspiracy Files.
The time to act is now. There are 3 simple steps you can take to unseal the truth.
Follow on Twitter.
Follow the Unsealed Twitter feed to receive breaking news of the latest conspiracies as they develop.
Tell your story.
What did you see that you shouldn't have?
The government's known about it all along. Why has nobody told us?
Upload stories and pictures to our interactive map.
Join the movement.
Get the Unsealed bracelet and the unique code hidden underneath to access exclusive content. Stop living in the dark. Get involved in the fight to unseal the truth. Now. For decades, world governments have remained silent on their knowledge of aliens. Total denial is the standard response. But a few maverick officials have bravely chosen to break the silence about alien activity here on Earth, often at the risk of their own lives. In 2010, former Canadian Minister of Defense Paul Hellyer broke protocol by stating, "The reality is that aliens have been visiting Earth for decades, and probably millennia, and have contributed considerably to our knowledge."
Paul Hellyer claimed to have seen evidence of alien and human interaction while in office. He also shared information about the United States that could very well expose the idea that we are preparing for an epic War of the Worlds.
Hellyer believes the speed of American weapons development may be linked to alien technology, and as a result, humanity is advancing too quickly for its own good. Did America's insatiable desire for advanced weapons in the 1950s sow the seeds of an intergalactic war? Is this a war that future generations will have to fight? The ultimate consequence of our secret dealings with aliens remains unknown. But Hellyer is not the only person with knowledge of world government secret involvement with aliens. There are others who know the truth. Some may be too afraid to speak out, while others may have already been silenced.
Unsealed. Conspiracy Files.